And welcome to the Nation Podcast. I'm your host, Tammy. Thanks so much for joining me tonight. I really appreciate everyone. I certainly hope that everyone has had a great week. Again, thanks for joining me tonight. Please tell somebody about the podcast by uh, just saying, hey, I'm listening to a live podcast. Maybe you might be interested in listening to it. I listen to a downloaded podcast. Maybe you might be interested in listening to it. And I would greatly appreciate that. All right, everybody. Again, thanks so much for joining me tonight. I do have another podcast. It is called "For the Health of It, Health Matters." It comes on Saturday nights in this same time slot, 8 o'clock Central, 9 o'clock Eastern, 6 o'clock Pacific. Except it comes on Saturday nights on Podbean.com. Once again, that's "For the Health of It, Health Matters" on uh, Podbean.com. Again, I would greatly uh, appreciate someone. I would greatly appreciate you telling someone about it. All right. Just a quick second here. Let me just type this. All right. I am, of course, on YouTube Live on America's channel, and I changed I changed from just having a regular my regular name on my channel to America's channel. And what is America's channel? America stands for action, motivation, energy, responsibility, initiative, core care, and all, with liberty and justice for all. And so that's the America's channel on YouTube. Again, tell somebody about it, and I would greatly appreciate it. I know I'm just starting. It's going to take time, of course, to get viewers, and so I'm hoping that people will people will look at, listen to my podcast and tell people about it and come on YouTube Live. I'm also on iHeartRadio. The Nation Podcast on iHeartRadio, so you can listen there or go to the downloaded podcast there. All right. Of course, as usual, there's always a lot to get to. Let me see here. All right. Let's see. We're gonna go back. Uh, so let's see what we should talk about first. Of course, you know, the president has continued his usual, you know, uh, foot in the mouth, foot in the mouth. Uh, um, okay, okay. Oh dear, what happened? Oh my! I was on a particular side, and all of a sudden I can't get on that side anymore. I wonder what happened. Oh goodness. Okay, let me try again. I do apologize for that. As I said, I don't know what happened. I was on a particular side, and for some reason, it will not let me come back to that side. And again, I have not done anything wrong here. Okay. Let's see. Let me try again. As I said, I have not um, done anything wrong, so I don't know what's going on with this particular site. All right. As I said, the president, continues to put his foot in his mouth, and which is again nothing so surprising there. Sad, as I said, as it is. He unfortunately really does not belong Okay, well, I guess I'm not going to be able to go to my usual site. I don't know what happened. I was on here, and all of a sudden now I can't go on this particular site. I don't know what happened, and I do again apologize for what happened. I don't know what happened here. I do not know. This is crazy. As I said, I don't know what I did. I was just on this site a minute ago, and now it's telling me I can't go on this site. Oh dear, I'm sorry about that. All right, well at any rate, everybody, we're just going to keep on going. As I said, I don't know what happened. Um, it's just weird. It should not have uh, uh, done this, but I don't know what the heck happened to my site here. All right, as I said, the president continues, to put his foot in his mouth, and he doesn't. I mean, I really don't even know what to say at this point about our president. I really don't know what to say. I don't. I do not know. I don't know. I do not know because it just gets worse and worse and worse and worse and worse, with this guy. And it's just absolutely crazy. I've never heard, of anything. I mean, this is just like I said. I can't even. I mean, again, I'm trying. I'm really, really trying. Hard. I really am trying hard to understand this man. I really am. But as I said, all we can do is just wait out, wait out our time. Okay, so all we can do is just wait out our time until this man is no longer in office. And for me, I can't wait. Frankly, I can't. I cannot wait. Frankly, for that day to come. Um, Again, very very happy that we that Ron DeSantis and of course the rest of the Republican governors are doing great, are just giving the liberals a 1-2 punch. You know what I'm saying? I'm so happy about that, because again, all it's doing is just showing these people up for who they are. That's all it's doing. It's just showing these people up for who they are, and I am very very, as I said, happy about it. you know, like I said, their hypocrisy is just on the front page, and that's exactly why they're upset, because the Republicans have showed them up, and they are embarrassed. They're embarrassed, and now they're of course trying to sue Ron DeSantis, and trying to sue, which is ridiculous. I mean, it's ridiculous when they're the ones that are engaging in human trafficking. They're the ones that are engaging in human smuggling. They are the ones that are breaking the law. Joe Biden is breaking the law. But of course, as usual, they have to turn it around and try to make it, about them as usual. As I said, they are the ones that embarrass themselves, okay, by, again, being shown for who they truly are, the hypocrites that they truly are. I mean, let's just be honest about it. They're being shown to be the true hypocrites that they are. And of course, they don't like it. Too bad, so sad. But the Republicans aren't the hypocrites. You are. You're the ones that call yourselves welcoming to people, but then when the same people that you claim that you welcome come to your town, well, of course, all of a sudden, you don't like it so much. Why? Why is that? You're the ones that wanted these people here. You're the ones that opened the gates and let them come in. When they did, and of course, now they're in New York and Chicago and DC. All of a sudden, no. You can't do that. See, here's how it's supposed to go. Texas and Florida and Arizona are supposed to feed, clothe, and house these people. The Democrats are just supposed to get their votes. You see how that works? That's how the Democrats wanted it to work. Didn't work out so well for them because, again, they thought that Ron DeSantis and Greg Abbott were a bunch of chumps and that they were just going to continue letting these people overwhelm them. It's okay to overwhelm your cities and towns. We just want these people's votes. We don't want them in our town at all. We just want their votes. But it's okay to let them overwhelm your cities and towns. Just who cares? Just give us your vote. But we don't want it. We don't want to feed you. We don't want to clothe you. We don't want to house you. They expect Texas to continue to do that. And Greg Abbott and Ron DeSantis were like, no, absolutely not. Not going to happen. We're not going to keep on doing this. And again, the idea of that these liberals are trying to sue them for the same things that they're doing themselves is the height of pomposity and the height of arrogance. To be truthful, it's pomposity and it's arrogance. But then look who we're talking about here. I mean, anybody surprised? You shouldn't be. I'm not. It's sad, but I'm not surprised at all. I'm really not. Because again, look who we're talking about here. I mean, we are talking about the Democratic Party, aren't we? The people who are confronted with the truth and still try to turn around and blame somebody else for actually telling the truth and actually confronting them and confronting them with their own hypocrisy. See, again, that's what they're mad about. If you really want to be truthful about it, they're mad about their hypocrisy being exposed. See? Again, they thought that Greg Abbott and the rest of these governors were going to continue to feed and clothe and house these people. Like, okay, we'll see. We can't send them back to Texas. To me, we can't send them back to Mexico. To me, they should send them back to their home state. Not our problem. I've said that before. It's not our problem. We can't afford to take care of these people. We have people here homeless. We have people here who are on government benefits. We have people here who are having financial problems. We're in a recession. So how are you going to tell me or anybody else that we're supposed to take on thousands or more people when we are barely, making it ourselves financially? That doesn't even make any kind of sense at all. Really? Come on. That doesn't make any kind of sense whatsoever. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. It is financially and fiscally irresponsible. But why again is the president doing it? I'll tell you again, folks. Let's be real about it. That's what they want. They want votes. And they'll do anything to get them, including putting our own security at risk in this country because they've already arrested terrorists at the border. And so they'll put our security at risk. They'll put, our safety at risk. They'll put our financial, survival at risk in order to do what they want to do. And it's just ridiculous. And good for, again, these governors who are standing up and saying sorry, not sorry. You wanted them here, you take care of them. You take care of them because we're just not going to continue to. And I'll be back in a minute with the next podcast. see. Okay. Oh, I guess. Well, and I don't even know what I did. What did I do? Oh, shoot, sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Okay, sorry about that. This- Okay. Let's see. All right. All right. All right, everybody. I apologize for the delay. My computer is acting up and is not cooperating with me. I do apologize, as I said, for the delay. I'm going to try to get back to my music here. All right. I do again apologize for what happened. Like I said, I cannot get the music to come back up. It's deciding it's not going to cooperate with me. All right, we're just going to go on with the podcast. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the second. All right, good evening, everyone, and welcome to the second the second segment of the Nation Podcast. I'm your host, Tammy. Thanks so much for joining me tonight. Again, I do apologize, as I said, for the not having the music. My this computer decides wants to do what it wants to do. It'll cooperate with me sometimes, and sometimes it won't. All right. Again, thank you again for joining me tonight. Please tell somebody about the podcast. I would greatly appreciate it. Um, say I'm listening to a downloaded podcast, and you might be interested in listening to. I'm listening to a live podcast, and you might be interested in listening to it. And I would again greatly appreciate, as I said, you telling somebody, as I said, about the podcast. All right. I also have another podcast. It's called For the Health of It, Health Matters. It comes on this same uh, in this same time slot, except it comes on Saturday nights on podbean.com. Once again, that's for the Health Matters. Saturday nights on podbean.com in this same time slot. And again, I would greatly appreciate it. Please tell somebody that I'm on YouTube Live on America's channel. America, the A stands for action, the M for motivation, the E for energy, the R for responsibility, the I for initiative, the C for core care, and the A for all, for liberty and justice for all. And so that is America's channel. So please tell somebody about YouTube. All right. We're going to go back. I finally found my page again. As I said, my computer is running really slow tonight, and I do apologize, as I said, for that. For that, we usually I have my music on, but again, this decided it's not going to cooperate with me right now. All right. As I was saying, trying to, loving the fact that these governors of these states are saying sorry, but not sorry. We're not going to continue to be, we're not going to be chumps. And if you want these people here, then guess what? You're going to have to feed them, and you're going to have to clothe them and house them, because we just can't continue to do it. It's unsustainable. So you wanted them here, you take care of them. And of course, Muriel Bowser, the mayor of D.C., who didn't want the National Guard during, the rally for January 6th on purpose. Don't think that she didn't know what was going to happen. I believe that she did. That's why she didn't want the National Guard. That's why Nancy Pelosi didn't want the National Guard. They knew they knew January 6th was going to happen, so that they could do just what they're doing now, blame Trump and try to try him so that he'll never run again. And that's all that is. They both knew. Because if they didn't know, then how come the same committee hasn't questioned them? They were both in charge. They both had the power to call out the National Guard, and they refused. And then January 6th happened. And of course, surprise, surprise. Who gets blamed for what happened? Donald Trump. Now, the same Muriel Bowser wants millions of dollars from the federal government and the National Guard to help her with this migrant crisis. The crisis that she signed on to when she voted for Joe Biden. Now, ain't that something? Why is the mayor of D.C. crying and whining about this? You signed on to it when you voted for Joe Biden. Why is Eric Adams, the mayor of New York, upset? You wanted this. Remember, you brought this on yourself when you voted for Joe Biden. So don't complain now. The people of Martha's Vineyard brought this on themselves when they voted for Joe Biden. Okay? So don't try to blame, don't try to get upset now. Oh, it's a crisis, No, what's a crisis that you made it? It's a crisis that all of you made it. Tell your pal Joe Biden to close the border. How about that? That would help. Anyway, so good. Like I said, I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Because again, I call it their just desserts. That's what I call it. Okay? I call it their just desserts. I mean, come on now. Come on now. And I say this again, November 8th coming. And if you're tired of seeing what you're seeing and you want to change, well, you know what to do. Vote. And if you have to vote in by mail-in ballots, then do so. Beat the Democrats at their own game. They want mail-in ballots? Well, let's have it. I said this before. Let's have it. Let's all vote by mail and see how that works out. No, the Democrats don't want that. They only want themselves to vote by mail and their voters so they can cheat. They don't want Republicans to do mail voting. I promise you. If Republicans say, okay, well, then let's do this. Oh, no. You can't do that. Why not? Why can't we vote by mail too? Of course, they'll come up with a cockamamie excuse why the Republicans can't do it, but we can. It's the same thing. The rules don't go for us. It only goes for you. We can send our thugs to go after Donald Trump and the rest of Republicans, but they can't do that to them. If the Republicans take back over the House, you already know the very first investigation. Mark my words, and you already know what's coming. The same people that have endlessly investigated everything about Republicans and have treated the Republicans shabbily. When it's their turn, oh no. You can't do this to us. This is revenge, and this is revenge, and this is wasting taxpayer money, and this is, come on. You already know. I mean, it's predictable as the tide going in and out. You know what they're going to do. They're going to whine and cry and complain the whole time. Again, about the endless investigations and how the Republicans are trying to get back at them, and how the Republicans are wasting taxpayers' money, and how the Republicans are on a witch hunt. They weren't guilty of that, though. Only Republicans are guilty of all that. Going after them. Again, endless investigation, witch hunt, waste of taxpayers' money. We should be doing the people's business. Yeah, but what about you? Oh, I'm so sorry. I forgot. Demonizing Republicans and going after them was legitimate. Oh, okay. Got it. Okay. I mean, it's just ridiculous. It really is. But, we can do something about it. Again, November 8th. Bill Maher. Democrats win every election. They start talking about pregnant men. I mean, isn't that the silliest thing you've ever heard of? I mean, come on. I mean, I don't even know. I mean, I guess I do know, but there's something really wrong. I mean, I don't like to talk about nobody, but there's just something really wrong with some of these people. I mean, I tell you, some of them really need to go and have some mental evaluations. Like I said, I don't like to talk about anybody. I don't. Some of these people really need to go and have some mental evaluations. They do, because they have some problems. They have some real serious problems. That elevator ain't going to the top floor, folks. It's not. I don't know what they're turning out in these colleges now, but it isn't good. I mean, this is just beyond, any kind of, logic, as I've said before in previous podcasts that I have. This is beyond any kind of understanding I have. I mean, at any level. Why in the world? Who in the world really believes that? Who in the world really believes that a man can get pregnant? Unless something's wrong with you. You got something wrong. And the only reason why Democrats are going after, are even pretending to sign on to this madness is because they want to sign on this liberal agenda. Once again, they want these people's votes. I mean, the dumbest things anybody could ever say in life. There's no scientific proof anywhere that a man can get pregnant at all. There's no proof anywhere. It isn't going to happen. But yet you have these people that are saying it. They're really saying this. It's like, what is going on with some of these people? What? It's just the craziest thing I've ever heard in my entire life. And they wonder why people are just like, even their own people are like, you know what? I can't do this anymore. I can't. This is just insane. Crazy. Biden family worked to sell American gas to China. Like I said, You know, yeah. Like my father used to say, crooked as a dog's hind leg. And they're getting away with it. I don't even, when he comes on, I don't even listen to him. I can't even listen to him. I just can't. I can't. It's just beyond, yeah, okay. I can't listen to that guy. I just can't. I really can't. Um, let's see. So yeah, he said Bill Maher said they win every election. They start talking about pregnant men, among other stupid stuff that they're talking about that doesn't even make any sense. I mean, just stupid. I said that I don't like to call anybody stupid, but it's just stupid. It makes no sense whatsoever. I mean, come on. Anyway, so we're just gonna keep on going. Let's see. Uh, I know they're saying in Europe that a lot of people are going to die this winter because they're not going to have electricity. Because when you get rid of natural, gas, I don't know what's left. If you're depending on solar power during these European winters, I don't even know how they're going to make it. I don't. I don't know how they're going to make it because those European winters. I mean, we have some pretty brutal winters here, but without electricity, I don't know if people are going to make it. It's just going to be too cold. It's going to be too cold. It really is. But, they've sold out to the highest bidder, and it's going to hurt them in the end. They've gone after Trump for holding, documents. Well, they said Obama Foundation held and maybe still holds classified documents in unsecured furniture, furniture warehouse, but FBI doesn't care. Well, of course not. Because it's his name is Obama. That's why. Of course they don't care. What else is new? Well, what shall we name this? Under the uh, um, Socialism 101, billions who obey lockdown and mask mandates will go ahead. Will agree. With a socialist agenda. And so we hope, and so again, under the as I said, the socialist uh, under the socialist manifest, we will, we're going to see what's going to happen. But when you have a bunch of people brainwashed, then what do you expect to happen? I mean, honestly and truthfully, because that's exactly what's going on. People are brainwashed. They're just plain brainwashed. It's sad, but it's the truth. And the mass mandates and the lockdowns were only the beginning. And so we got to get it together, folks. Again, November 8th. Please vote, as if your life depended on it, because it just might. And I'll be back with the next podcast in just a minute. Good evening and welcome to the third segment of the Nation Podcast. Got my music back on. Thanks so much for joining me tonight. For those of you who are listening to the live podcast, thank you so much for listening. For those of you who are listening to the downloaded podcast, thanks so much for listening. Please tell somebody about the podcast. I greatly appreciate it. I'm on YouTube Live. Of course, I'm still working on getting viewers, so I'm hoping that someone will eventually come on YouTube Live and be on and give their opinions. As I said, I realize that of course there are lots of podcasts and lots of people on YouTube. So so I'm one of them. So I'm hoping again eventually someone will, as I said, come on and join the podcast, or of course just look at the video. All right, I have another podcast. It's called For the Health of It, Health Matters. It comes on in the same time slot, except it comes on Saturday nights, 8 o'clock Central, 9 o'clock Eastern, 6 o'clock Pacific on Podbean.com. Once again, that's For the Health of It, Health Matters on Saturday nights in the same time slot on Podbean.com. And I appreciate it again if you would join me on Saturday night. All right. So as I was saying, the Biden family, of course, has been allowed to get away with a lot of corruption, and Democrats have been allowed to get away with a lot of corruption. I mean, I just read your headline that said that Obama Foundation has classified documents, and the FBI doesn't care. Then I said a moment ago that the WEF, and I'm not sure what WEF stands for, but it says claims $1 billion to obey lockdowns and mask mandates will also comply with new globalist social credit scheme, which is not surprising. All they needed was a gateway, and they found it in the pandemic. Then they used it, to their advantage. They used it to violate people's constitutional rights. And the sad part is that they didn't care. These organizations like the WHO used the pandemic to violate people's rights, the schools and things like that. And it's not right, and it should never have happened. Never have happened the way it did. Okay? And so again, if they're saying that people are going to just obey and comply, why would they doubt it after you saw what happened during the pandemic? Why would these people be so confident if they didn't think that it was going to happen? I mean, that's just a question that I have. They seem awfully confident of it. And why shouldn't they be? At this point, really. Why shouldn't they be at this point? Okay? Again, that's pretty a pretty bold statement for these people to make. But are they wrong? No, I don't think they are at this point. Like I said, maybe at some time before 2 years ago. No, now, yeah. I mean, they can see that people are good. That are easily people that have been easily manipulated. So it's nothing new or surprising to these people. Okay, we can manipulate these people however we want to manipulate them, and they are going to do it. They've been doing it. Let's see. Let's keep going. All right. I'm going to keep on going. More proof that, the criminals are in charge. This lady who was murdered in Tennessee, Memphis police sued for handling the suspect in prior rape charge. This man had been charged with rape and other crimes before he kidnapped and killed this woman who was a teacher and who was jogging, and he kidnapped her and murdered her. And the police were, again, there was a failure, a collapse, a lapse. Again, this is what's happening all over the country. You can see it yourself. Soft on crime DAs not doing anything to prosecute people at all. Just letting them go, and they know it. People with criminal arrests who've been in and out of jail are out and committing more crimes. I've read it. You've seen it yourself. This is a result of soft on crime policies. This lady died at the hands of this man, and God only knows. I mean, I can't even imagine what that poor lady went through. She was a teacher, and she was just out for a jog. And I just can't imagine. I can't. I'm thinking, oh my God, oh my God, so awful. I can only imagine, like I said, what that poor lady went through, what she suffered because of this man. You know, crying and probably begging and pleading, and oh God, it's just so terrible, so awful. You know, like I said, in that kind of situation with nobody to help you. It's sad. It's just so very, very sad. It really is. But again, that's the result, again, of soft on crime policies in liberal cities run by Democrats. Let's just call it what it is. And Tennessee, Nashville is the same way. Liberals running it. Okay? I'm going to keep on scrolling down here. Let's see. A very dangerous person, widow of killed cops, slams soft on crime Fetterman. You know, John Fetterman is running against Dr. Oz for Pennsylvania for Senate. And this guy, I mean, he is really a piece of work. I mean, he's got some, you know, he's got some trouble, some issues. And the fact that he won't debate Dr. Oz until after the election is very troubling. Because if you got nothing to hide, why won't you go ahead and debate him? There's a lot of these Democrats don't want to debate conservatives, and I wonder why. Not until after the election. That sounds like fraud to me. You're going to find out about the person's who the person really is after you voted for them. Looks like Joe Biden, how they hid him out. And a lot of people said they never would have voted for him if they had known, which is what the liberal media and the Democrats schemed to do. And this is what they're scheming to do again. You know, hiding these people's records until after the votes are over. Then people find out who these people really are, and it's too late. See, that's their scheme, and it's been their scheme all along. I mean, this guy's got convicted murderers working for him. When he was over the parole, talking about Fetterman, he was over the parole board. He let murderers go free. Okay, murderers. Okay. The so-called New York Attorney General once again going after Donald Trump and avoiding all the crimes of other crooked politicians. She's once again, and she said she was going to go after Donald Trump. Here's an Attorney General now that's supposed to be fair and supposed to be applying the law equally to everybody. Said she was going to go after Trump, and she got elected anyway. I mean, you can't really even make it up. So it goes to show you what kind of person she really is. She wasn't interested in fairness. If she was, she wouldn't have even announced out there, and they should never have even nominated. They should never even have elected her, period. What is she even doing there? When she has obvious bias, and you can't tell me that she is going to, treat people that she disagrees with fairly. When you can see what she said. She was on video saying she was going to go after Donald Trump. Why is she even the Attorney General? And here we are again, the same old thing. Same old thing. Nothing's changed. But yet she won't recuse herself. Ridiculous. Rising homelessness in Terry, California sees apart. Nothing surprising there. Really. It's not. I mean, homelessness everywhere. And again, that's because of the failed policies of the government of California. You know, rising rents, of course, people not having jobs and all those types of things. People can't walk on the streets, because of tents everywhere. Businesses are closing simply because patrons can't go in the store without having to try to step over homeless people laying all over the place. And it's no wonder that California is going down the tubes, and that's my home state, but it's going down the tubes as we speak with this, whoever this guy is. I mean, I don't even know what to call him. He's not a governor. He's some kind of, I don't even know. I mean, I can't even describe this guy because there's no word anywhere really, to describe what who this guy is, because he's totally out to lunch, totally a sold out, communist, socialist, woke, whatever you want to call him. He's totally sold out to that camp, and California's doomed. They reelect this guy, they get what they deserve. They wouldn't oust him when they had the chance. They wouldn't recall him when they had the chance, and they should have. Okay, they should have. And again, they deserve what they get. I love California. I'm from there. I have family there, but they deserve what they get. I love my family, my friends, but they're blinded. They are completely blinded. They can't see it. I can't talk to them about it, and I don't even try. I just don't talk. I don't talk to them about it. I don't. I do not. Because unfortunately, in the long run, they're going to find out in the long run the hard way. Senate ratifies climate treaty that will raise the cost of home appliances. Well, so much for the Inflation Reduction Act, huh? See, all that was is, once again, all that was just smoke and mirrors. They used it to get their climate change agenda and every other agenda that they want passed. And Joe Biden, who is now out of favor with his state, went ahead and helped him, thinking he was going to get something out of the deal. Well, he found out he got suckered, because they're not going to even go through with the deal that he wanted. So Joe Manchin was a sucker. He was a chump, and he fell for their line. See what happens? They all follow the same. They all rubber stamp everything. Eventually, they just wore him down, and he finally just gave in and caved in. Okay, well, he got suckered, and now the people of his state are angry at him, and rightfully so. He should be voted out of office. I praised him when he stood up and said no, but once again, he just caved in. And so, you know what? Hey, again, Joe Manchin deserves what he gets. Kristen Sinema deserves what she gets. If she gets voted out of office, that's on her. If he gets voted out of office, that's on him. Whatever. He deserves that. Tone Deaf Fortune Mag, why you should be happy about inflation. Now, it's not about the stupidest thing you ever heard of. Why would anybody be happy about inflation? Oh, hell, I guess the multimillionaires, they don't care. Because, see, all they're going to do is raise prices on everything. So what do they care? All they're going to do is rely on their stocks and all that other stuff. And so what do they care about it? They're not losing any money. So why are they sorry? Why are they mad? They're not mad. I mean, have you ever heard anything so dumb in your life? But then here we go again. It's just a typical liberal, woke, news. I call it woke, but we're broke. That's what I call it. Okay. Woke, but we're broke. So, like I said, unfortunately. All right, everybody, I'm going to end the podcast. Again, looks like my music is not cooperating with me. So thanks again for joining me tonight. Please tell somebody about the podcast. I really would greatly appreciate it. Just let somebody know. Say, hey, I'm listening to a live podcast, and you can listen live. You can listen to download it. Either choice. It doesn't really matter. But I would really greatly appreciate everyone. And I would just like to thank everyone again for joining me tonight. Please listen to For the Health of It, Health Matters on Saturday nights in the same time slot. And again, I would greatly appreciate it. This is America's channel, Action Motivation, Energy, Responsibility Initiative, Core Care for Delivery, Justice for All. Good night. Oh, darn. Good night, everybody.